In every episode of this series that involves me playing the drums, I will have mentioned once or twice that I wasn't particularly happy with my kit and did in fact want to upgrade. Originally I was going to go with a Roland kit, specifically the TD27KV2, but then Alesis came out with the Strata Prime, which I have purchased. This kit is just infinitely better than the one that I had before, which was a beautiful practice beginner cheap kit. But now we've upgraded, which is too weak of a term. Upgrade just doesn't cut it. What we've done is, for those of you who are interested, I will be making a bunch of content dedicated to the Strata Prime, which I will link in the description below. But before I can do any of that, I need to work out how to record through the module. Obviously, that's very important for all of my content, but more importantly, it's essential for recording for my instrumental album. So we need to figure out how to do it. It looks as though we have a few options to record through the module, but I honestly have got no idea. I've checked the Alesis website and they've got no information about recording with the module, so we're just going to try out a few things and see what works. On the back of the module, we've got two XLR outputs, which is what we'll try first, and then we've also got a group of 4 1/4-inch instrument outputs that says they are assignable, which means we could have cymbals on one, tom-toms on the second one, kick by itself, and then snare by itself on that fourth one. Next to both of those, we have an auxiliary input, so I'm assuming input is not going to be an output, so I'm just going to forget that those exist and focus on the XLR cables first, and then we'll see what we can do with those 4 1/4-inch outputs. Before we move on, I just want to quickly check the mixer tab there. Ins and outs. So we've got main, left and right, assignable 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, but they switch to that. I don't know what that means. Okay, I've honestly got no idea. Learn by doing. That is the best way. I'm still trying to get used to the kit. I've only played it a handful of times because I've been too busy focusing on setting up the studio and getting everything on the kit just right. So I'm still trying to get used to it. That's excuse 1. And excuse 2 is I haven't warmed up. That's why this is probably going to suck. Kit 1, which I think is fitting. First time trying it. Kit 1, which is not my favorite, the New York maple thing. My favorite is the third one, which we'll switch to, but that's interesting. Switch over to my favorite kit, copper kit. I'm still yet to change any settings in the module for stuff like your trigger velocity and sensitivity and your hi-hat height, which is why there's a lot of inconsistencies with the kit, especially with the kick drum like you just heard. So until I fix that up, it'll sound not incredible, but once I do fix that up, it will sound much better and much more consistent. You can really hear that fluctuation in the kick drum there as I'm playing through the tom-tom groove. Again, I should be able to fix that with the trigger velocity and sensitivity settings in the module, but that's just a little something to note for the video. What we'll do now is just have a quick little listen back to what I've just played. What I have noticed is that when I'm over here on the left side of the kit, the left input is louder, and then when I'm on the right side of the kit, the right input is louder, left is quieter. So just to test that theory, if I play the tom-tom on the left of the kit, it should record louder on the left than on the right, which it does, and then the inverse. That's very obvious there. The right side input is a lot louder because the tom-tom's on the right. than it is on the left because, again, tom-tom's over here. So that is all to do with the panning of the drums. Another test is the crashes. That one's on the left. So left input is loud, right input is quiet, and then switch that. Right is loud, left is quiet. So that's all to do with the panning, which means you need to have both of your XLR inputs plugged in. We'll listen back if everything works. That's how we'll record everything. Well, that works. The XLR cables work really well. That's what we use. I was originally thinking of trying the 1/4 inch instrument outputs, but then I realized my audio interface has only got 2 inputs, so I can't do it anyway. We do have one problem, which is my XLR cables are a little bit too short. And the USB cable that I use to plug the audio interface into my computer, that cable is also a bit short. So normally I'd have my computer here and then my audio interface either side, depending on where I needed it. And what I've had to do is move the computer to the very edge of the desk, quite dangerously. I had to move the audio interface as close to the module as I could, and I also had to move the module as close to the audio interface as I could. And now I've got whatever that situation is over there. Luckily, I do have another XLR cable somewhere in my cupboard, which I think is a couple of meters long and should be okay. But I have purchased another one, which should be coming tomorrow. A nice 3-meter long XLR cable, which will make my job a lot easier. To finish off the video, I'll quickly explain how to record with the Alesis Strata Prime Module. As we talked about before, there are the 2 XLR outputs on the back of the module. You're going to plug your 2 XLR cables into the module, and then they will plug in to inputs 1 and 2 on your audio interface. I'm using the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2, which has got my 2 inputs. So module, XLR cable into the back of the audio interface will plug into your computer, run it through your DAW, make sure that you choose your interface as your recording device, and select inputs 1 and inputs 2 on the 2 different tracks which you'll need to record your drums. Speaking of DAWs, I'll just quickly mention that I have a few videos up on the channel already which go into a lot of detail looking at how to use DAWs and audio interfaces, how to get them talking to each other so you can record your different types of instruments in their different ways, which could be acoustically via microphones, or with electric instruments such as an electric drum kit, how to record those into your computer directly or into the audio interface. I'll link a few of those videos in the description below just so you can check out if you think they might be helpful. Now that we know how to record with the drum kit, let's record some more.